You're listening to The Moose and the Loose, your 10 minutes action-packed financial podcast with your host, Mike Yahoo. Hey, what's up, Market Moose? Mike from The Moose on the Loose. That's Wednesday. That's my break in the week. So Monday, Tuesday, I wake up at 5. I do my workout, and then I go for a run, and then I go for a sprint with my dogs. So pretty busy mornings. And then I take a pause on Wednesday where I sleep in. I wake up at 7 and I just have breakfast with my youngest son. We watch hockey news, and that's just a lot of fun. And then we go back for Thursday and Friday for more runs, more sprints with the dogs because they don't know how to run. They just know how to sprint, and more workout. So it's good to have a break today. Today I want to talk about the stories we tell ourselves. We tell ourselves a lot of stories to convince to keep on moving or to convince ourselves that it's not that bad, and I'm sure that you have a friend, fortunately, hopefully it's not you, but you maybe have a friend, or you heard about a story where like the couple was not doing great, but the person was like, yeah, I've been with that my spouse for like so many years. I don't really want to quit on that relationship, even though it's not making me happy. And as long as I'm with her, I'm still married. You know, like I'm still married. I've not broke anything. Like that marriage still exists. And it's like scarier to break a marriage and to start over, and instead of like just enduring a situation that is not that great. Another story that we ran into more personally. Don't worry, my marriage is doing well, great. But a few weeks ago, Caleb, my youngest son, he's doing a lot of sports. So he's playing soccer, he's playing futsal, which is indoor soccer, and then he's also playing hockey. And he started to had like a knee injury, and he kept on playing anyways, because he was kind of like, as long as I'm playing, I'm not injured, you know, like I can keep on going. It's not that it's okay. But in the end, he pushed a little bit too far, and then we had to stop him and say, you know what, you're going to take a full week off. You're going to let it heal. So it was not a big injury, but we stopped it before it was too late. We didn't drag this thing for too long. And then after a full week of not doing anything, of recovery, he came back in full strength. And that's the beauty of like being 12, right? Because if I do that at 43, it's not going to work that fast. I will have to take more than a week. All right. So now back to investing and the story we keep telling yourself. That is the worst one, in my opinion. If I don't sell, I don't lose money. Like that stock is down by $50,000, but as long as I don't sell it, I have not lost money. This is the biggest lie you tell yourself ever. That money is gone. Most of the time, my friend, that money is gone. And it's gone, and waiting will not do anything. And we're gonna talk about like in which position it could come back later on today. But in general, the money is gone. And if you wait for like 5-10 years to recover, it is incredibly costly. The cost of waiting is even bigger than what you lost. Because when you wait and I'm talking about a deadbeat. I'm not talking about a stock that's just down because it's down. I'm talking about a stock that is struggling. The company is struggling, it's not doing well, and then you just decide, like, for example, it cut its dividend, and you keep on holding to that stock. Well, there are 3 costs that you're facing. The first one, the dollar cost. Dollar cost, because yes, you're going to tell me, but I didn't sell, Mike, so I did not lose money. And I'm like, well, and you also keep ignoring the opportunity cost, the huge opportunity cost. Imagine that you have hold on to a big loser, a company that's struggling, going nowhere for the past 3, 4, 5 years. The market has gone up so high, and you still is stuck with this poor investment. So that's the first one. There is a dollar cost, regardless if you sell or not. The opportunity cost is real. The second thing is there is also a time cost, because as long as this loser is in your portfolio, well, you have to keep track of it. You have to monitor those earnings, and you have to spend a lot of time hoping that this company will come back. But hope is not a strategy. And finally, one underestimated cost is the emotional cost. Whenever you open your broker, and I know you do it more often than you should. I know that because I do it too. No, seriously, I don't look at my holdings that much. But there is an emotional cost because every single time you open your portfolio, you have a reminder that you've been wrong on a trade. You have a reminder that you are potentially losing money. So let's assume that you do not accept that you're losing money. You're still in denial. Well, you have that reminder popping up in your face all the time. Personally, I rather move quickly on those and forget about them because when I open my brokerage account, most of the stocks I own, the vast majority, are in green. So it makes me happy and it makes me believe that I'm a good investor. And then it encourages me to keep on focusing on my strategy because I have like living proof that it's working in my face. So now, you should not sell because your stock is down. I keep telling you that. Do not assess the investment value tied to short-term performance. You should sell when you have been wrong with your investment thesis. When you thought, oh, this company will do ABC, and they're in the left field, or the financial metrics are completely a disaster. So therefore, you must just admit you were wrong with your investment thesis, and this is a good sign to sell. On the opposite side, for example, I've been holding Granite REIT for a few years now. Still in the red, maybe like minus 10 or something like that. It was down at one point minus 20 something. Minus 20% is like kind of like it sucked, especially when the market is up, right? But my investment thesis was still right. The numbers were still right. So then I decided as long as the funds from operation is growing and the FFO per share is also growing and the dividend is also growing every year, I'm going to hold on to those shares. Maybe I'm going to be wrong in the end. I'm not saying that I'm going to be right, but I just want to illustrate that this is a possibility. So I will never sell Granite because I'm losing 10, 15, 20%. I'm going to sell it the day that, well, industrial properties are not in demand, that FFO is declining, and the company is not increasing its dividend. Now I'm going to say, you know what? I've been wrong this whole time. Now I'm going to take the loss like an adult, and I'm going to move on. But until that day, I'm going to hold on to those shares. So going back to my story from the beginning, have you noticed that if you do not solve your couple problems, they're just going to go worse, and then you're going to be like not happy for several years until it breaks? But of course, you're going to tell me, but Mike, the opposite is also possible. And it's totally true. There are marriages that recover, and they sure can, actually. There are a lot of positive stories there where you hit some good waves. You're in the middle of the storm, but you decided to work with your spouse and get out of it with a smile. And that happens, and that's great. But now you have to ask yourself, how come it happens? Well, to do so, you must have a solid foundation. You must have trust. You must have a lot of work put in for all parties involved and a clear direction. So, of course, if I'm running into a lot of problem with my wife, but we sit down, we've been together for a long time, we decide to work on a couple, we go, I don't know, see a therapist or like express our feelings, communication, and then we decide to work on that with a clear direction, there is a good possibility that we move past that problem and then that we're happy again. So can you find this among your losers? Do you have like losing stocks that are struggling, that has a solid foundation, that management has a clear direction, and you can see the work being done quarter over quarter? If you can see that, maybe you're holding to a great company that will recover. But if you do not have those signs, well, chances are you're going to end up with a divorce sooner or later with that stock. But if you wait for a long time, it's just going to be more costly than anything else. So stop telling yourself that if you don't sell, you don't lose. Instead, take the additional time, work on your investment thesis, determine if this company has what it takes to recover. Not hope, not, oh, it's going to be better tomorrow. Like things that are under their control, look for specific actions. If the management is not telling you what they're doing right now to improve the situation, and if you do not see signs of improvement in the following quarters, well, you have the confirmation that this business is not going to recover. So it's not about like recovering is not about luck. Like, regardless if we talk about marriage or if we talk about a business, it's about a strong foundation, a lot of work, and a clear direction. So, right, Moose, if you have any question, please go on YouTube. Tell me that in the comments. Do not forget to give me a 5-star rating if you love the show, either on Spotify or on Apple Podcasts. I really, really, really appreciate you take like those 5 seconds to do this. It helps to grow the show, and it's kind of like the only way I can grow it. So we're going to talk again tomorrow on Thursday. And until then, don't forget to stay invested. Hey, welcome to the disclaimer. If you're listening to The Moose and the Loose, you cannot really expect me to give you buy or sell recommendation or financial advice, right? You're here for fun, you're here for information and some entertainment. But I am not your financial advisor, I am not your broker, so therefore I'm not liable if you're losing money after listening to the podcast. If you're looking for some advice, go see a professional. If not, you can enjoy the show and do your due diligence after it.